Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So the Washington Commanders players reported for off-season workouts. That includes Jayden Daniels, some other players as well. I'll be showing you guys clips. Also, I'll be talking about the Adam Peters and Lance Newmark press conference today, 2 days away from the 2025 NFL Draft. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well. Comment down below who you want the Washington Commanders to draft. I've been saying that for the last few videos, but I know it changes daily for some people, so let's get right into it. So off-season workouts started, and it's just basic stuff. This is voluntary, the players don't have to, and a lot of it is the younger players, but it's around the league. It's starting. Some start earlier than others. Some start a little bit later. But you see, we'll go ahead. I'm not going to, make y'all wait until the end. But here's a clip of Jayden Daniels not walking in to the facility, but sprinting into the facility. All right, maybe not sprinting because he is pretty quick, but running right in. He's ready to get to work. He's excited. He's happy. And, hey, it's great to see Jayden Daniels again in the flesh. Not playing yet, but hey, good to see him excited to get back to work because, obviously he had a great year, but, still needs to put in that work and, not concerned about that at all with Jayden Daniels. But again, like I said, it's good to see him back, and Commanders are a couple days away from the draft, which is cool. But good to see the guys back in the building, and that starts with Jayden Daniels. Let's see, we'll go ahead and go over a few different clips. Let's see. So that the first one was Jayden Daniels. Let's see, Deebo Samuel walking into the building. You see that there. He's chilling. He's got his fit on, walking into the building. So looks, in better shape than he was in last season, which is already good. And he's got a full season to prepare. And let's see. All right, that's where it starts. So you got Deebo there. Let's go through these players. You got Quan Martin. You got Austin Eckler there. You got Deron Payne, and then you got Frankie Louvu. So the defensive players there plus Austin Eckler. So they're all back there. We saw the Jayden Daniels video. Here's Johnny Newton. Who's walking in, and who else is there? I'm trying to see without I don't want to get copyright issues, but a bunch of different players there with the Commanders. Jeremy Reeves was there earlier. You see a bunch of the defenders, so it's good to see them all back. Brian Robinson there as well. So yeah, the band is back, and it's just a start. You got Mike Sanders still there. Not sure who the guy on the right is. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's get rid of all those ads there. And like I said, or I guess I didn't show this one. Dorrance Armstrong and Javonte Jean-Baptiste. Those guys are there as well. But yeah, this is just a start. You got this, then you got, after the draft, you got rookie mini camp, which is exciting. Usually not super exciting when you don't have like a big skill position player there. Like when there's quarterback like last year is exciting, but it's still, something to talk about. And then you got, mini camp, OTAs, stuff like that, which some of it's mandatory, some of it's not. And let's see. So they had their press conference. Let's talk about it. They started off, thanking a bunch of scouts, which I thought was really cool, and people that helped with the process over the last year, which I think is really cool for Adam Peters to do, thanking, obviously the guy to the right of him, his right, Lance Newmark, but then also, he first thanked all the scouts and everyone that was responsible for where they are today. Let's go over some things. So not a ton of important information that he gave out in the press conference, and that's good news, because if he was giving out important information, then he probably shouldn't be the GM, because you don't want to be giving out information to other teams. He said they could go in any direction the first round after drafting Jayden last year. You obviously take QB off the table, and he said he's open to trading up, but he's going to say that in general. He said if Abdul Carter drops at 27, they try to trade up. He said the DN class is very deep. There's a bunch of different guys for different schemes. So he mentioned, maybe, or he didn't mention it, but I feel like based off that, you could say, all right, they don't necessarily need to take a first or edge rusher in the first round. They could go another position. They could go safety. They could, maybe they go linebacker. Shout out to, I guess, watch my video yesterday. I don't know what I was about to say. Shout out to myself, but go ahead and watch my video yesterday talking about, drafting, a surprise draft pick in Carson Schlesinger from UCLA, maybe him, and then a wide receiver. I wouldn't mind that as well. Peter said the board is basically set. There's some minor tinkering going on with some of the draft selection, or with the draft boards. Let's move through some of these quotes from today. Got the Nats line up there. Shout out to the Nats. Shout out, more importantly, to the Capitals. Big win yesterday. Ovi with 2 goals. Not a big hockey guy, but of course, got to appreciate the greatness there. Let's see. Any other major things here? Peter confirmed the general view with this DN class. It runs deep. Any other, they mentioned, he mentioned how he evaluates, different, character concerns with players. And it's just important to rely on your scouts for that one, that have put in a lot of work, into not only watching the tape and, seeing if the player is good or not, what his skill set is, but talking to coaches, talking to teammates, talking to classmates, talking to hometown people. Those are important things in terms of trying to find out, all right, is this guy the best fit for this team, this culture, this organization? And, the new war draft room is done, so that's cool. Adam Peters mentioned that like 3 times, so, can assume there he's pretty excited about that. And Peters also mentioned they put themselves in a position not to force something, so, cool there by him. And then let's see, JP Finley says, AP already proved this last year, part of the Commander's philosophy, build to win and not scared. He doesn't personally believe in being scared of trading picks with a team in the division. So, if you're confident, it is what it is. And something I thought was interesting is there was another, I don't know which team it was, but there was another team doing exactly what the Commanders did last year, Top Golf visits. So they're trendsetters, even though a lot of people at the time were hating on it. He said there's very little certainty after the first 10 picks or so in terms of, who's going to go where. This draft's going to be crazy. There was other stuff, that was tweeted out. I can't remember by who, maybe Adam Schefter or some other guys. Like, there's going to be some, a lot of action during the draft in terms of trades. We're not going to know who is going where, what team is going to trade up, down. A lot of confusion leading up to this draft. So I think that's it for press conference stuff. Like I said, a whole lot of nothing from that press conference, but, some things to take away from, just in terms of maybe some positions that they'll go after. But we already knew that DN, and, he didn't say they were going after DN. I think the draft room was cool to see that they completed that. We'll see that a little bit later on once they, show the videos of, draft stuff. And then also it's cool to just, get a glimpse into their process, how they handle the draft, how they treat their scouts, stuff like that. So that was really, really cool. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. And also, if you guys can please share this video out with any Commanders fans you know. Let's try to grow this channel together. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.